Have you ever suddenly woken up at 2:17 a.m., your heart beating a little faster than usual, your mind completely alert, even though you were exhausted before bed? And what's the most frustrating part? It's not that you're not sleepy, it's that your body seems to flip on an internal alarm switch in the middle of the night. A lot of people think, well, that's just aging. But here's what hardly anyone tells you. After 60, your body starts handling energy very differently. Your liver doesn't store glycogen as efficiently. Cortisol becomes more sensitive. Low-grade inflammation quietly increases over the years. And even a small dip in blood sugar can be enough to wake your brain up at 2 or 3 a.m. This isn't random, it's physiology. But here's the part that really matters. Deep sleep isn't just about what time you go to bed. It's about what you eat in the 2 to 3 hours before that. One small change to your evening meal can calm cortisol, stabilize blood sugar, or reduce silent inflammation and help your brain stop hitting that alarm button at night. Today, I'm going to share 8 foods ranked from foundational to most powerful, especially optimized for adults over 60, to help your body naturally return to deeper, more restorative sleep like you had 30 years ago. And the final one might be the missing key for those of you who keep waking up at 3 a.m. Now let's begin today's list. 8. Soft-boiled egg not fried. When it comes to sleep after 50, sometimes we overcomplicate things and forget about one of the simplest foods sitting right in our kitchen: an egg. But not a golden fried egg sizzling in oil. We're talking about a simple soft-boiled egg. Why eggs? Because inside that small, humble egg is tryptophan, an amino acid your body uses to produce serotonin, which then converts into melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall into deeper sleep. After 50 or 60, that conversion process isn't as smooth as it used to be. That's why giving your body the right natural building blocks becomes more important than ever. Eggs also provide choline, a nutrient that supports your nervous system. When your nervous system is well nourished, your body feels calmer at night. And let's not forget the high-quality protein in eggs. Protein helps stabilize blood sugar for several hours. That matters because many of us wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., not from stress, but from a mild drop in blood sugar that quietly triggers a stress response in the body. So why not fry it? High heat and oil can make the egg heavier to digest. It may sit in your stomach longer, sometimes causing discomfort or mild reflux when you lie down. Deep sleep needs lightness, not a digestive overload. The simplest approach is one soft-boiled egg about 90 minutes before bed. If you'd like, you can pair it with a small slice of whole grain bread to help tryptophan move into the brain more effectively. For most healthy adults, one egg in the evening isn't something to fear. What matters more is how it supports the brain and helps the body settle down. But remember, protein is just the foundation. If you're someone who keeps waking up at 3 a.m., the next food we're about to talk about may make an even bigger difference. 7. Greek yogurt plus 1 teaspoon of raw honey. We've talked about protein as the foundation for better sleep. And now coming in at number 7 on today's list is a simple but powerful combination: Greek yogurt with a small teaspoon of raw honey. After 50, many of us start to notice something important: digestion and sleep are deeply connected. When the gut feels off, the brain has a harder time relaxing. Greek yogurt is rich in probiotics, which help nourish the gut microbiome and support the gut-brain connection. When the gut is balanced, mood tends to feel steadier, and sleep often becomes deeper. Greek yogurt is also high in protein and naturally contains tryptophan, the building block your body uses to make serotonin and eventually melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. That steady protein can also support more stable nighttime metabolism, reducing the fluctuations that sometimes wake us up in the early morning hours. Now, what about honey? Some people get nervous about anything sweet at night, but a small amount used intentionally can actually help maintain the liver's energy stores overnight. When the liver doesn't run low on fuel, the body is less likely to raise cortisol around 3 a.m., and the brain doesn't feel the need to switch into alert mode. The way to use this is simple and gentle. About half a cup of plain Greek yogurt, add 1 teaspoon of raw honey, and have it 45 to 60 minutes before bed. If you'd like, sprinkle in a little cinnamon to further support stable blood sugar. Sometimes it's the smallest shift before bedtime that brings the most peaceful night. And at this stage of life, that kind of peace is truly something we value. 6 almond butter plus 1/2 a banana. Coming in at number 6 on today's list is a combination that sounds simple but works beautifully for the body after 60 almond butter and half a banana. As we get older, our ability to absorb certain minerals isn't quite what it used to be, especially the magnesium from whole nuts. Magnesium plays a key role in helping muscles and the nervous system relax. When we're mildly low over time, we may feel restless at night without really knowing why. Almond butter in its smooth ground form is often easier to digest and absorb, giving the body a gentler way to get the magnesium it needs. Magnesium also helps activate GABA, a calming neurotransmitter that essentially turns the volume down in the brain before sleep. When GABA is working well, we feel that inner quiet, slower heart rate, fewer racing thoughts, a deeper sense of calm. Almond butter also provides healthy fats and a moderate amount of protein, which helps stabilize blood sugar overnight. And that half banana, it offers just enough natural carbohydrate to help tryptophan move into the brain more efficiently, supporting the production of serotonin and melatonin. The way to use it is simple: 1 tablespoon of almond butter with half a banana about an hour before bed. Not a large portion, just enough. Sometimes our bodies don't need dramatic changes. A small combination at the right time can make the night feel quieter and the morning feel a little lighter. 5 ripe kiwi whole fruit, not juice. Coming in at number 5 today is a small fruit that can make a surprisingly meaningful difference in our sleep: ripe kiwi eaten whole, not juiced. It may sound unexpected, but some research suggests kiwi contains a relatively high amount of natural serotonin. Serotonin is a key building block your body uses to produce melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. After 50 or 60, that conversion process can slow down a bit, which makes gentle food-based support more valuable than ever. Kiwi is also rich in vitamin C and antioxidants. These help reduce oxidative stress in the body. When the nervous system feels calmer at the cellular level, we often notice a deeper sense of relaxation at night. On top of that, the fiber in kiwi plays an important role in stabilizing blood sugar, helping prevent the small fluctuations that can trigger a mild cortisol rise around 2 or 3 a.m. That's exactly why eating the whole fruit matters. When you juice kiwi, most of the fiber is removed. The natural sugars are absorbed more quickly, which can cause blood sugar to rise and fall faster overnight, something the aging body doesn't handle as smoothly as it once did. The simplest way to use it is 1 to 2 ripe kiwis about an hour before bed. No added sugar needed. If you'd like to slow absorption even more, you can pair it with a small sprinkle of chia seeds. Sometimes 1 small kiwi in the evening is enough to help the body soften, so the night becomes less about worry and more about true restoration. 4 baked sweet potato, not boiled. Next is something many of us already have in our kitchen: baked sweet potato, not boiled. You might be wondering, why baked? When sweet potatoes are naturally baked, their fiber structure tends to stay more intact compared to boiling them in water. That means the energy is released more slowly and steadily. After 50 or 60, that steady release really matters. Our brains need a gentle, sustained source of fuel through the night, so they don't feel the need to wake the body up at 2 or 3 a.m. Sweet potatoes are a slow-digesting carbohydrate which helps keep blood sugar stable for hours. When blood sugar doesn't swing up and down, the body is less likely to trigger stress hormones in the middle of the night. They're also rich in potassium, a mineral that supports muscle and nervous system relaxation. Many older adults notice mild calf tightness or a restless feeling, when they lie down, and potassium can be part of that missing piece. The fiber in sweet potatoes also feeds the healthy bacteria in the gut. And when the gut microbiome is supported, serotonin production improves, which naturally supports deeper sleep. The simplest way to use it: one small baked sweet potato eaten about 2 hours before bed, giving your body enough time to digest comfortably. By this point, we're starting to stabilize nighttime blood sugar. But if we want to go even deeper, especially into the gut-brain connection, the next food may create an even more noticeable shift. 3. Overnight oats, soaked not cooked. At number 3, we begin to go deeper into a food that has a powerful effect on the gut-brain connection: overnight oats. Not hot cooked oatmeal, but oats that have been soaked overnight. A lot of people assume all oatmeal is the same, but the way we prepare it makes a real difference, especially after 60. When oats are soaked for 6 to 8 hours, the starch structure begins to change and forms what's called resistant starch. This type of starch isn't digested right away. Instead, it becomes fuel for the healthy bacteria in your gut. And when your microbiome is thriving, your body produces serotonin more efficiently, which then supports natural melatonin production at night. Overnight oats also release glucose slowly and steadily. That's important because many people who wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. aren't waking from anxiety, they're waking from a subtle drop in blood sugar. When that happens, the body raises cortisol as a protective response. But if energy is supplied gradually through the night, the brain doesn't feel the need to sound the alarm. Hot cooked oats, especially the instant packets, tend to digest more quickly, which can lead to a faster rise and fall in blood sugar. When we're younger, that swing may not feel significant. After 50 or 60, it can directly affect how well we stay asleep. The simplest way to prepare it is with old-fashioned rolled oats soaked in unsweetened almond milk for 6 to 8 hours. You can add chia seeds to slow absorption even more. If you'd like, a few slices of kiwi can further support natural serotonin levels. And one important reminder: make sure to use rolled oats, not the instant sugary packets. Sometimes just changing how we prepare a familiar food brings us one step closer to deeper, more peaceful sleep. 2. Warm turmeric milk, not just regular milk. Some evenings, what we need isn't just food. It's a feeling of being soothed from the inside out. And that's where a warm cup of turmeric milk can become a small but meaningful bedtime ritual. Milk naturally contains tryptophan, the building block your body uses to produce melatonin, the hormone that guides you into sleep. But when you combine it with turmeric, the impact goes even deeper. Turmeric contains curcumin, a natural compound known for supporting a healthy inflammatory response and helping the body rebalance after a long day. When low-grade inflammation is gently calmed, the nervous system feels less on edge, and nighttime cortisol levels tend to stay more stable. But beyond the nutrients, there's something else happening. When we slowly sip a warm drink, the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for rest and repair, begins to activate. The heart rate softens, breathing deepens. The body receives the signal that it's safe to relax. To optimize the benefits, you might choose unsweetened almond or coconut milk, which can be easier on the body and supportive of a lower inflammatory approach. Warm it gently, don't boil it. Add about half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper to enhance curcumin absorption, and if you like, a little cinnamon for a softer flavor. Have it about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. No rush. Let it be a quiet moment of self-care. Sometimes deep sleep doesn't come from something complicated. It comes from small nightly rituals that tell the body it's safe and ready to let go. 1. Frozen tart cherries, not juice. And then now we come to the final food on today's list, and the one that truly stands at the top. If we had to choose the most powerful option for sleep after 50, it would be frozen tart cherries, not cherry juice. Why frozen tart cherries? Because this small, slightly tangy fruit works on several key sleep mechanisms at the same time. Tart cherries naturally contain melatonin. As we age, our bodies often produce less of it. Adding melatonin-rich whole foods sends a gentle signal to the brain that it's time to wind down. But the benefits don't stop there. Frozen tart cherries are rich in anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that support a healthy inflammatory response, even in the brain. When the nervous system is calmer at that level, sleep tends to feel deeper and more continuous. And here's something important. When you eat frozen tart cherries whole, the natural fiber slows the release of sugar into the bloodstream. That helps prevent sudden spikes and drops in blood sugar swings that can quietly trigger cortisol around 2 or 3 a.m. That stability alone can make a noticeable difference in staying asleep. Cherry juice, especially bottled versions, is absorbed much faster and often contains added sugars. That rapid rise and fall in blood sugar can actually work against deep sleep, particularly after 60. The simplest way to use them. About half a cup of frozen tart cherries eaten slowly before bed. If you'd like, add a few walnuts for healthy fats to slow absorption even more. Sometimes the most powerful solution is also the most natural. And for many people, frozen tart cherries become that missing piece that finally makes the night feel whole again. Linda, 68, from Tampa, Florida, used to wake up almost every night around 3 a.m. After adding half a cup of frozen cherries before bed and occasionally a warm cup of turmeric milk, she shared that within about 2 weeks, her sleep felt more continuous and she no longer felt fully awake in the middle of the night. Robert, 72, in Scottsdale, Arizona, often felt slightly hungry and restless at night. He switched to overnight oats as a light dinner and added almond butter with half a banana before bed. After 3 weeks of consistency, he noticed fewer awakenings and clearer mornings. Every body is different, but when we choose wisely and stay consistent, the body often knows how to rebalance itself. After 60, many of us start to realize something very clearly. Sleep is no longer as simple as if I'm tired, I'll sleep. There are days when the body feels completely exhausted, and yet nighttime still brings restlessness. Because at this stage of life, sleep doesn't depend only on how tired we feel. It depends on whether the liver has enough glycogen to fuel the body through the night. It depends on whether cortisol quietly spikes at 2 or 3 a.m. It depends on whether the brain is dealing with low-grade inflammation we don't even notice. And especially it depends on whether blood sugar stays steady or fluctuates silently in the background. The good news is these factors are not completely out of our control. The foods we choose before bed can act like a switch, helping regulate many of these mechanisms. We don't need to use all 8 foods at once. Every body is different. Choose 1 or 2 that feel right for you and stay consistent for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Deep sleep comes from consistency, not from a one-night change. Before we close, we'd truly love to ask you something. Out of the 8 foods we shared today, what do you feel you might be missing most? Is it unstable blood sugar, cortisol waking you at 3 a.m., or low-grade inflammation quietly affecting your sleep depth? Leave a number from 1 to 8 in the comments and share a little about what you're experiencing. We'll read through and respond. If this video was helpful, subscribe to Strong Health Way. Each week, we explore natural, gentle approaches to help adults over 60 sleep more deeply and wake up with real energy. Deep sleep isn't luck. It's the result of the right choices. And we absolutely have the power to create that. We'll see you in the next video.